I hope you all are fine and enjoying and studying at home. Once again, I, Asha Mary, your English teacher, came to you with a new chapter, verbs. So, without any delay, let's get started. Here you can see few words: play, stand, speak, wake, break, sleep, find, drink, eat, fall, get. Can you guess what are they? One thing is similar in these all the words. Can you guess? So let me tell you, these all words are expressing actions. And do you know what we call the action words? We call them verbs. Okay, students? So, students, today we are going to learn about verbs, the doing words, verbs. Now we come to its definition. The definition of verb is: a verb is a word that expresses action, feeling, or existence. So action is what you do. You play, you go, you sleep, you eat, you fall, you wake. These all words are called action. Next is feeling. Feeling, what you feel, or existence. Existence existence means where the noun is. It is in present, it is in past or future. So this is called existence. For example, Mohan writes a letter. So here writes is a verb and it is expressing physical action. So that's why it is action verb. Next, they feel sad. Here feel is a verb, but here is not physical action. So it is feeling. Ashoka was a great king. Here was is a verb, but it is not a physical verb. This it is an helping verb because it is expressing that where the Ashoka is, present, past, or future. And we all know that was is used in the past tense. So existence means where the noun is, it is in present, past, or future. So that's why the definition says a verb is a word that express action. Action means physical action, feeling, your feeling, the name of your feeling, or existence, present, past, or future. Now we are going to learn about the types of verbs. There are four types of verbs: action verbs, helping verbs, transitive verbs, intransitive verbs. So now we will learn about them in our next videos. Now we will learn about the first type, that is action verbs. As you can see here, and as I told you that what is action verb? Action means what we do in our daily life is called action verb. We sleep, we play, we stand, we speak, we wake, we break, we find, we drink, we eat, we fall. These are called action verbs. Okay, students? Now we come to its definition. Action verbs are the verbs that express an action of the subject, whether it be physical or mental. Okay, students, action verbs are the verbs that express an action of the subject. It express the action of the subject, whether it be physical or mental. The action can be physical or mental. Physical means in which you will use your body parts, and mental in which you will use your mind. That is the difference between physical and mental. Okay, some actions are there in which we use our body part, just like um, to drink water we use our hands to take water, or then after we drink it. So to do this action we use our body parts. Next, second is mental. So mental means in which we use our mind. Just like, for example, you can see here. For example, first example is I like chocolates. So here, what is verb? Like. So like. When we like, we don't use our body parts. We use our mind. Okay? So here like is a mental action. But in second example, you can see here I play cricket in the ground. So what is verb here? Play. To play cricket, we have to use our body parts. We have to use our leg, we have to use our hands, and we have to run. So that's why it is physical action. That's why the definition says action verbs are the verbs that express an action of the subject, whether it be physical or mental. So let me explain this definition in Hindi. एक्शन वर्ब्स वो वर्ब्स होती हैं जो एक्शन को जो सब्जेक्ट के द्वारा किए गए कार्य को एक्सप्रेस करती है, चाहे वो फिजिकल हो, फिजिकल मींस जिसमें हम अपने बॉडी पार्ट्स का यूज करते हैं, और चाहे वो मेंटल हो, मेंटल मींस हम उसमें अपना माइंड का यूज करते हैं, जस्ट लाइक थिंक. सो फॉर थिंकिंग you don't have to use your body parts. You don't need to move your body parts. So that's why thinking is a mental verb. Okay? Next verb is helping verb. As you can see here, here are few helping verbs: is, am, are, has, have, was, were, had, will, shall. Okay, so now we come to its definition. Helping verbs are also known as auxiliary verbs. So the second name of helping verb is auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs and helping verbs are same. They help the main verb to describe action, that the action happened in the past, or is happening in the present, or will happen in the future. So here I want to tell you the basic thing, that the helping verbs are always used to express tense, that the subject, that the action is in present tense or past tense or future tense. Helping verbs are basically used for tenses. Okay, so for example, you can see here Sita is writing a letter. So here is writing, is mr, you all know that is helping verb is always used in present continuous tense. So that's why present tense is here. That's why is is here, and is always used in present tense. Second example is he was taking tea. So was is here, and was always used in past tense. I shall help you. Here shall is a helping verb and shall always used in a future tense. So that's why first sentence tells us that the action is done in present tense. In second example tells us that the action is done in the past tense. Third example tells us that the action is done in action will be done in future. So now we will see here is, am, are, has, have. These five helping verbs are always used in present tense. Was, were, had. Was, were, had. These verbs are always used in past tense. Will, shall. Will, shall also will, shall always express future tense. So here you can see that helping verbs are always used to express tense. We can identify any tense that when the action is done by its helping verb. Okay, students. Now we come to its third type, that is transitive verbs. Transitive verbs are the action verbs that always take an object. So stop here. First, I would like to tell you what is object. Object is a noun or pronoun that receives the action. Okay, they always used after the verbs. Okay, so without an object, the meaning of the sentence will be zero. So that's why the definition says transitive verbs are the action verbs that always take an object to complete its sense. The objects are compulsory to make it meaningful. For example, first example is he baked some cookies. So some cookies are the object here, and I told you what are object. Object is a noun or pronoun. So cookies is a noun here after the main verb. So object is a noun or pronoun that receives the action. So he baked some cookies. If we erase some cookies, so it will it be meaningful? He baked. What he baked? It will be meaningless. That's why we need some cookies as a object here. Okay, students. Next example is she rode the bike. The bike is a object here, and if we erase the bike here, she rode. Is it meaningful? What she rode? So it is meaningless without the bike, and the bike is a object here. Third, they ate ice cream. So here ice cream is a object. If we erase ice cream, so what left? They ate. Is it meaningful? They ate. What they ate? No, it is meaningless. When we add ice cream as an object, then it will be meaningful. So that's why the definition says transitive verbs are the action verbs that always take an object. So here some cookies, the bike and ice cream are the objects. Without them, the remaining words are incomplete. The sense of the sentence is incomplete. That's why we need an object in transitive verbs. Okay, students? So, students, our fourth type of verbs is intransitive verb. Intransitive verbs are the action verbs. They do not have an object. They are totally opposite of transitive verbs. As we learned in our last slide about transitive verb that they need an object to complete its sense. But here in this intransitive verb they do not need any object to complete its sense. Without object they can convey their meaning completely. That's why they do not have an object. I told you in my last slide that what is object? Object is a person or thing that receives the action. It can be a person, it can be anything. Okay, so here for example, the pilot landed carefully. So I told you object always comes after verb. So here verb is landed and after landed what is there? Carefully. Carefully is not a person, is not a thing. So it is not a object. So that's why it is not a object but it is conveying its complete meaning. So that's why it is an intransitive verb. Second example, he has arrived. So arrived is a verb here, but after arrived, no object is there. And without object, the sentence is conveying its complete meaning. It does not need any object to complete its sense. So that's why it is a intransitive verb. Last example is they laughed loudly. So here laughed is a verb and loudly is not a person or not a thing. So it is not an object. It is a adverb. It is not an object. That's why it is not a That's why it is a intransitive verb. Okay, students. So now we will learn the definition. Intransitive verbs are the action verbs that do not have an object. Object means a person or thing that receives the action. Here, carefully is a adverb, not a person or thing. Arrived is a verb, no object is there. Loudly is a adverb, not an object. So that's why these sentences are not having any object. फिर भी they are conveying their complete meaning. So that's why they all are intransitive verbs. So students, I hope you got benefits from this video and you have cleared your doubts. So students, here are two exercises to check you that how much you have learned. So here is first exercise in which you have to underline the main verb, it means action verb, and you have to circle the helping verb. Okay students, in exercise 2 you have to tell that these verbs are transitive verb or intransitive verb. Okay, best of luck student, all the best, do your best. Okay, bye students.